more than welcome back to Little Miss Drop Stitch. Today I'm going to be shortening a sleeve, but essentially the skill that I'm doing is removing rows. So this is one I've previously done, and I did it as a step-by-step picture tutorial for the website if you prefer to kind of remind yourself that way. So that's considerably shorter than the sleeve I've got here. Quickly, how it came about, I think because it's cotton yarn. And you know, we love cotton yarn, but you do get that heaviness with it, so I think it's just really kind of drooped and dropped the sleeve. And I do believe in the things we craft and make being practical, and because you know you just don't use them, it's time, money and skills wasted not being on show. So I do believe in things being practical. So it's time to sort this out so I can get to wearing it. I'll admit I was super daunted by doing this and the idea of cutting into my work, okay? Yes, we will be doing that, stay with me. The idea of cutting into my work was just like, yeah, should I just kind of have these droopy floppy sleeves forever? But you know what? It is super easy to do. Yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised, and I think you will be as well. So this is a great skill to have in the toolkit, and you'll be confident in it in no time. So first things always first on this channel, your sleeve might be knitted, you know, in the round continuously. Mine was done flat and sewn up. So what I need to do is not cut any live stitches, hopefully, and open up the sleeve to kind of just above where I want to start. Luckily for me, actually, this is in stripes, so I can easily count and mark where I want to do mine. Yes, I promise this is easy, and the biggest skill you need today, honestly, is just taking your time and double checking. So measure twice, cut once. So I'll meet you when I've undone this bit of sleeve, so I'll probably do it up to kind of about 1.5 inches, 2 inches above where my marker is. It's just occurred to me to mention why I'm bothering doing this in the first place. Well, I'd have to undo the sleeve from the body of the jumper. I'd have to undo the seam of the sleeve. I'd have to undo the full sleeve and re-knit it all again, which you absolutely can do, but I'm a busy girl, and the thought of it would just stay in a corner and I'd never wear it as well. So, you know, nice little hack to do, and it means I can get wearing it again. For this next bit, you're going to need knitting needles. You can use straight ones, just gives you a bit more flexibility to use a circular needle, but we're going to be using it flat. And of course, if your sleeve is circular, then you'll be using a circular needle. To be honest, if mine was all one solid colour, I would be using, you know, scrap yarn in a completely different colour and a needle, just because I find it difficult to stay on the same row if I'm just putting in, you know, my needle into one solid colour. That might just be a me problem, so feel free just to use your needle. But yeah, whatever you're doing, we need the stitches that we pick up to all be from the same row. So whatever helps you to do that. What I want to be doing now is picking up one of the legs. I'm going from left to right, so I'm going to be picking up the right side of the leg, and this will have the stitches going the correct way for knitting it after. If they're, you know, going the wrong way and you pick up the wrong leg, it's not a problem, you'll just turn them around later on. Okay, so I kind of count backwards because I find the first stitch difficult to, you know, see what I'm picking up. So I'll kind of see the defined V, so that's 1 whole stitch, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then look here, and I've got the first stitch. That's just something I like to do to make sure I've got it. And then all we're doing is picking up one leg of each stitch. You could be doing this with a needle or with, you know, thread and a wool needle, whichever you find the easiest. So take your time and do that for the full length across. I've definitely got it easier with it being stripes. You could be using this technique to kind of shorten a jumper at the hem as well. Okie doke, here is all my stitches on my knitting needle ready. And the scariest part is actually the easiest part of the process, okay? So what you want to do now is cut a stitch, just one, that's in the row below where your stitches are on the needle. So my white stitches are on the needle, and then the row below is blue, and I'm just going to pick up one leg of one stitch anywhere in the row, it doesn't really matter. You see? And here we go. Snip. And if you just gently pull, you'll get a hole, but don't worry, it has only undone one row. So nothing fancy, I'm just using a wool needle, and I'm going to undo this row. And depending what you want to achieve, some people might want to keep this bottom bit. Depending on what you're doing, some people for their project might need to keep this bottom bit. For example, your project might be too short actually, and you'll kind of put your extra rows and then reattach this bottom bit. I'm going to undo it just to keep the extra yarn, and because then the plan is, if we see on the other sleeve, there's this rolled up bit here, so I've already kind of got up to there, and then I'm going to add these bits on and cast off. So I don't have to be too careful, is the short way of saying that. I'm just going to go through each stitch one at a time and carefully undo it. If you're wanting to keep the bit at the bottom, you could add in another needle as you go in to pick those up, or at the end just pick them up. There might be a couple of drop ones there. I'm going to go this side, and I'll also do that side as well, and I'll meet you when this bit's fallen off. How did we all find that? Let me know in the comments. I find it quite a calm and in control process. So here we go. These stitches now in the whites are live, and they're on a needle. There we go. These I've just put into balls. We don't need the blue anymore. I'm going to finish off the sleeve. So for me, it's 4 rows of stocking stitching cast off. And bear in mind that the cast off was once my cast on. So I am going to cast off loosely just because I know I did a stretchy cast on to start with. So yeah, we don't need to do a special stretchy cast off, just kind of nice and loose, because I don't want it to be choking my wrists. All that's left then is to sew it back up. Well, I certainly hope you enjoyed today's video and learned a lot from it. Please do consider giving us a like, thumbs up, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Thank you and take care.